Hi everybody, this is Philip Martin and this is On Film on Video. We're back, October 1st, 2021, a week, 7 days, T-7 for James Bond, okay? Like I've been saying, there's a lot of pent-up supply out there and it's starting to catch up with us. We've got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of things are going on this weekend. The most important one, or the biggest deal, I guess, is the Arkansas Cinema Society's Filmland event, which is ongoing at MacArthur Park, in the park, by the Art Center, behind the Art Center, I suppose, which isn't open yet, but will be open next year, and there may be some stuff that we've got coming that we will tell you about in a few weeks or months. Can't talk about it now. But anyway, that's coming up. The Filmland event, last night, the fiction is this is Friday when it's actually Wednesday I'm talking about. So Thursday night, which is for you guys, last night, unless you snuck onto the internet and are watching this in advance. I'm trying to cut that out. We had the Jacques Cousteau documentary, Becoming Cousteau. Tonight, David Gordon Green is going to be there with Halloween, his 2018 movie, not the new Halloween 2 that's coming out in a few weeks, or a couple weeks, which he also directed. But he'll be talking with Jeff Nichols, and I think they were briefly. I don't know if they were classmates, but or if they knew each other from school, from North Carolina School of Design or not. I really don't know what the history is. But Green has a, kind of tangential connection to Arkansas in that he was born in Little Rock. Now, he never lived here. He didn't grow up here, but he was born here. So, we claim him. And he's been back a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago or so. He was at UCA for their film festival over there, and we had a few minutes. I think we were on a panel together. But anyway, he's a very interesting filmmaker. I've really followed his career. I like a lot of his films. I have to be honest and say that the Halloween stuff is not it's not my sweet spot. I know about the films. I don't obsessively, think about the Mike Myers mythology. But, he's here. And then tomorrow night, and this will be I guess this has got to be the headline, got to be the highlight of the festival, even though I'm just as excited about Sunday night, is Jessica Chastain, and they're screening The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and Chastain is going to be here, and she's going to be talking to Jeff Nichols after the screening about her career, about the movie itself. Her performance in this film is very good. I talked a little bit about Chastain last week, I think, because I can't remember what I talked about, but I do remember that when she had her breakout year of 2011, when she was in Take Shelter, Jeff's film, and I think that was a year before she did, and she was also in Tree of Life, the year before she did Zero Dark 30. One critic, and a critic I read, so it's not a critic I hate. It's not a bad critic, but someone called her a recessive presence in films, and I don't really agree with that. I mean, it's sort of like, I think that maybe the film he was talking about, maybe she was playing a recessive presence or something. I think she's a really dynamic actress, and I've been watching, and I write about this in Sunday. I've been watching the HBO Scenes of Marriage, and I'm watching it like you guys. I don't have screeners. I don't have an advanced copy of it. I could have got one, but I don't have time to watch what I have. But I've been watching Scenes of a Marriage, and she's amazing in it. There's a part of me that questions whether you needed to remake Scenes of a Marriage, the Ingmar Bergman television series from 1973, which is basically, this is close enough to the original as to be called a remake. It's got some code switching and some gender swapping, and of course the countries are changed. Though it's funny, in the original movie, Johann is not going off to he was going off to Cleveland State University, as a matter of fact, my dear wife's alma mater. He was going, and she would have been there at the time. Wow, wait till I tell her that she was sort of adjacent to Scenes of a Marriage back when she was in college. But anyway, I've been watching that, and she's really good. And like I said, it's both the performances, her and Oscar Isaac, and to a lesser extent, the Corey Stoll, and forgive me, I'm forgetting who plays Kate in the movie, or in the series. It's just an acting showcase, and it's got to be really great if you're an actor to get a hold of this kind of material and to be able to sink into it and play it like they're playing it. Like I think I told you last week, in the second episode, there is this 20-minute scene that is apparently uncut. I mean, I couldn't find a cut. I couldn't see a place to cut it. I think they just played it out in real time, 20 minutes, and it's just spectacular. And if you haven't seen the original, obviously this is valuable, and you should definitely watch it. It's just that it covers a lot of the same material, a lot of the same emotional territory as the original, and it's really a grown-up thing because it's asking questions about whether monogamy is actually possible, and whether, if it is possible, whether it's the best way forward. And it's based a lot on Bergman's own life. I'm not going to throw away my Sunday essay on this, but I am going to say that it's certainly worth watching. And if I were talking to Jessica Chastain, I would be asking her a lot about this series and about some of the choices she makes and how she comes to choosing her material. Because I guess she probably is first call for everything and doesn't have to. I guess she doesn't have to audition anymore. I guess people want her, so she's doing a lot of choosing, and she's chosen well. I've never seen her I've seen her in some okay movies, but I've never seen her give just an okay performance. So, and I think that every performance that she's given, I could understand why you would want to act that role. Anyway, there's other stuff that's going on at Filmland, and I would urge you, I'm not going to give you times and dates and stuff like that. I would urge you to go to their website, Arkansas Cinema Society, I think it's .org. Just type in Arkansas Cinema Society in the Google machine. You will find it. You can find out all about prices, ticket prices, how to join, how to be a member, it's a great thing to support because they've got year-long programs that they do. They do a year-round programs. Not year-long, year-round programs that they do for aspiring filmmakers and students and people like that. And it's a good thing to have. It is not the exact. The Little Rock Film Festival was great. This is not the Little Rock Film Festival, and it's not a film festival. It's more an event. Film festival, to my mind, is something that has like 20 films and maybe 5 are screening at any one time, and you can kind of walk back and forth between them. And most of them you've never heard of, and most of them are, young, independent filmmakers, and you're going to discover stuff there. Here, it's a little different. The Filmland thing, and I'm not speaking for ACS. I'm speaking for my own, just what I perceive. It seems to me to be more of a fundraiser so they can keep these things going around year round. It's almost like a reward for the members. And if you're not a member, you can still go. You just have to pay a little more to see these events. And these events are going to be great. I mean, I've been to them before. I'll be to them again. I don't know how many I'll make this weekend, but we're going to try. But it's something that's worthwhile supporting. I mean, it's sort of like we have, and I imagine every place is like this now because of because filmmaking because of the digital revolution, which is ongoing, but started in the 90s. The cost. It used to be that a filmmaker was the only artist who couldn't afford his own tools, had to borrow them from some big company or something, and therefore you were at the mercy of these studios, and you had to produce what they wanted you to produce. But now anybody can buy, pro-consumer grade stuff and go out and make a movie. They can shoot a movie on your iPhone. And this has led to this revolution that everybody's making a movie. There's movies everywhere. I mean, I get 5 or 6 at least people a week who are telling me that they've just shot a movie locally. I mean, it's like, really. And what we need, what these people need, is this thing to coalesce around, this sort of infrastructure, this place to meet each other, this place to show their films, a place to, talk to other filmmakers, to find mentors and things like that. People like Graham Gordy, Jen Gerber, who runs Hot Springs. I mean, these people are established. They make movies, they make TV shows, and they model for people. I mean, it's sort of like, it's great to see people who do this stuff and see that they're actually people, and that you don't have to be born into this business, and you don't have to have some super, power. I mean, you can look at Jessica Chastain, and as marvelous as she may be, she's still a human being, and you realize that human beings are the people that do this work. And we want to encourage this sort of art making in our community. And to do that, I think that this is like a necessary node for these folks to, coalesce around. This is how you get to know people, and how you get to get your next project done, and how you get to learn from each other. So that's the good. I mean, there's a lot of social good wrapped up in this. I'm going to give big apologies to all the local filmmakers whose movies I have not seen and not written about. It's just not been something that's been possible to do this year. I mean, it's sort of, we're really working hard, and there's not a whole lot of time. And, but there's, 5 feature films? I think there's 5 feature films. There's a lot of shorts. There's student shorts, and then there's other shorts. The shorts are always tremendous. And the reason shorts are usually better than the feature films at this stage is simple, because usually it's easier to have a idea that you can execute as a short film than it is to really do a feature, because features are really hard. If you're going for 80 or 90 minutes, it's kind of tough. But there's, I want to mention the feature films anyway, and I don't know anything about them except what I can glean from the actual title. Nathan Willis has a film called Rap City that's showing in Filmland. John Tarpley, who's an excellent writer, and I've seen a lot of his work. I'm not sure I've seen any of his film work. Has a documentary called 88.3 FM and the Voice of the People about KABF, which I've been telling people that was worth a movie for years. Shane White has Beautiful People, a place called Home, directed by a UALR professor, Keel Thorlton. I've got a copy of that. I've been meaning to watch it. Didn't get to it, but I will. The Lights Are Closed and My Eyes Are Dark, great title by Noah Woods. Again, go to the ACS website. You should see these things. I mean, if you're a local filmmaker, you ought to be going to these things to support your colleagues, your cohort. And it's great to meet people there. It's just, that was one of the great things. One of the things I really miss about the Little Rock Film Festival was just the camaraderie and just the after parties and getting together with stuff like that. Okay. In other news, boy, it's a busy weekend. I've been talking about all this pent-up supply, about the stuff that's about to come down. And we've got James Bond coming next week. But this week we have the Sopranos movie, Many States of Newark. We have another Marvel Cinematic Universe entry, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. I think that's the name. It's Venom 2. I'm not a big Venom guy. MCU, I can take or leave, but it's for you. The most interesting film for me is the Palme d'Or winner from Cannes, Titane. I don't know how to say it, but it sounds like kind of a David Cronenberg film, sort of a body horror film that, you know, again, I haven't seen it. I really, really want to. I've been, Piers Marchant saw it, I believe, but we don't have a review of it. But please, if you have a chance, and you're not hanging around Filmland, give this one a shot. This is one that, if you think of French movies as these arty, black and white, things about straight white men and their mistresses, then this is very different. This will change your mind about French cinema. And so go in peace to that. We have the Jesus Music, which was a film I was really looking forward to. I really thought it was a tremendous trailer. Really thought it might be really cool. And it's just kind of peters out in the last, third of it. I don't really, get the last third of the movie where I guess they didn't have any place to go. I mean, they probably should have gone further back in time and taken it up to like the 90s rather than, have this kind of anticlimactic sort of ending they had on it. But anyway, it's playing, I know it's in Conway. I don't know if it's in Little Rock. You'll have to check your theater listings. And we don't give theater listings because that's just an opportunity for us to mess stuff up. So, that's playing. What else? There's Old Henry did not open this week. We have that in the books. That's waiting. We have Breakdown, 20th anniversary of Breakdown, the DVD. We have an interview with the director in this week's issue. What else have we got? Well, we have the home movie stuff that we always have, and we're getting ready for fall. Oh, and more from the Toronto Film Festival by Piers Marchant. So there you go. And if it's not in the paper, it's going to be online because we may not have enough room for everything. So that's this week. I'm going to check out here early, and we'll see you next week. Take care. See you at the movies.